Halo teman-teman bola.com, dimanapun Anda berada, kembali lagi bersama saya Grega Nuriksani di program bola.com, di program Bola Break maksud saya, persembahan dari bola.com. Dan seperti biasa, yang sudah-sudah ya, biasanya kan kalau Bola Break itu kita menghadirkan sosok narasumber yang berupa entah itu atlet, entah itu pelatih, entah itu mantan atlet. Nah, kali ini agak sedikit berbeda nih, karena kita akan berbincang dengan salah satu, bukan salah satu ya, tapi satu di antara sedikit wartawan di Italia sana yang terlibat secara langsung dengan transfer pemain Persija yang baru yaitu Paulo Ricardo. Dan karena pemberitaan mengenai Paulo Ricardo dari KUPS ke Persija Jakarta itu beliau yang memberitakan. Nah, mari kita berkenalan dulu dengan Lorenzo. Hai Lorenzo, buongiorno, how are you?
How are you? How are you? I'm very fine. Thanks a lot, Grega, for the invitation. For me, it's a
Yeah.
pleasure.
Okay. Firstly, I think the viewers, the public wants to know a little bit about yourself. Like where do you work, and when do you start working as a journalist in Italy, please.
Yes, of course. I'm based in Florence, in Italy, which is in Tuscany. I don't know if you know the place. It's one of the most beautiful city in Italy, and it's not just my opinion because I'm based here, but it's because it's a very nice city. And I started 4 years ago on January 2022. So it's like 4 years that I started to this work, and I was 16 years old. Now I'm 20, and everything is going pretty fine. Everything started because I had a project about Fiorentina, which is the club of the city, no? And since that moment, I started to cover not just Fiorentina, but also other clubs, other transfers, other countries. And from now on, after 4 years, I can see that now I've a lot of infos about other clubs as well, and not just Fiorentina. And that's it. I'm just trying to cover everything. And now I think that Asia can be a very good place to develop my network because there are a lot of interesting players, and there is a lot of people that are interested in the transfers, and it's something that I think that is very underrated. So that's why I'm trying to start to cover more things about China, Indonesia, Japan, and everything because I believe that it's a very interesting region that is now not so much covered from the foreigners, let's say.
Yeah. Okay. So Lorenzo, of course we all know that Paulo Ricardo has been transferred or has been recruited by Persija. Okay. Now,
Yes.
we would like to know more about the behind the story of the transfer because apparently Paulo Ricardo is expected to be a big player in Persija and especially in Indonesian Football League. So the first question I would like to know is how did you first get involved in covering Paulo Ricardo's potential initially? Because the Paulo Ricardo's potential move
Yes.
to Persija, was it a direct contact from the agent, or you got tips from other sources in Italy or Brazil?
I had the one source that told me the story about the story, but since I checked who was his agent, and he's a close friend of mine because he's Croatian, and I have a very good connection with Croatian people and clubs and everything. So for me, it was easy to check the story. He confirmed it to me, and then when you trust your sources and you get it from two different sources, especially, you are almost sure that the information is correct, no? And then if I'm not wrong, I broke the news on 18 January, and like in 4 days, everything was confirmed because it was a very quick deal. Because Paulo Ricardo, of course, is a very interesting player, and especially because he was free agent. But when he heard about the possibility to join Persija Jakarta, he was truly interested. He had also other offers, but he turned down the others and instantly accepted Persija because he really liked the project and the experience that he could do in Indonesia. So he was very, very keen to join Persija since the first moment that they made contact with his agent.
So there were other clubs other than Persija Jakarta who were keen to sign Paulo Ricardo.
Yes, exactly. Since he was free agent, he was very interesting for a lot of clubs. He had some offers from Finland, sorry, South Korea, but when he heard about the possibility to join Persija Jakarta instantly, he accepted that possibility because he was very keen. Also, if he had better offers in terms of salary,
Yes.
but he wanted to try something that also for the environment. For example, in Indonesia, the weather is similar to Brazil. He preferred that kind of weather environment, let's say. And again, I have to say that what I heard is that he was very keen to join Persija because for him it's a very very big club, and that this was his will. And fortunately, they had the capacity to accept everything, the condition in a very short time because 4 or 5 days everything was done.
Yeah. Apparently Persija Jakarta coach is from Brazil as well. Is that
Yes.
the key factor behind the Paulo Ricardo's decision, or you may tell us different story about it?
I honestly know I have not heard anything about it, but surely the fact that the coach was Brazilian, as Ricardo, I think that it was a very good help for Persija, to persuade and to convince him to join as well. Because of course, when you have a coach that is from the same place as you, for example, we can consider the language that can be an obstacle, no?
Yeah.
When he has the coach that is from his country, this obstacle is not anymore there. So it's easier also for him, to communicate and to adapt in this new environment in a very fast way. So surely it was one of the aspects that he considered strongly before joining Prestige.
Yeah. So during the discussion, were there any obstacles, probably like visa issues or financial constraints, like the salary? Was it really smooth, or was there any obstacle during the discussion?
Honestly, no, it wasn't something asked or stuff like that because, as I told you before, he was very keen to join,
Yes.
and he wanted to play to Prestige because he want win trophies and to try to give the best to try to reach the highest level possible with Persija. So he was keen to join for the weather, as I told you, for the environment, for the exciting project that they proposed to him, and again because he wanted to win and to try something different in his career. Now, so basically, it was very quick deal, as I told you, 4 or 5 days. Because when I broke the news was like it in January, and then he became official like in 23 of January, 22 or January. But everything was already agreed, and the contact was made like one day before I announced the story. So it was very very easy, and also the will of the player was crucial to make it happen. Because of course, when you get more money in other countries, it's not always easy, to convince a player to go to certain other areas.
Yeah.
And in this case, Paulo Ricardo's will was to join Persija, so it was very easy from this kind of point of view.
Okay, so yeah, it was very easy indeed. I think the negotiation from the beginning until the confirmation, like 7 to 10 days. Is that right? And what I would like to
Yeah.
know is that what role did the Persija's management, like if was there scouts, talent scouts, or was there the coach, or was there a director that play significant role in speeding things up in terms of negotiating?
From what I heard that the occasion was born because it appeared on transfer market that he was free agent. Then I guess that the Brazilian coach, of course, maybe checked about the situation of the player. Maybe probably already knew him, and then they started the negotiation. But I'm not sure about that. I'm just trying to think about how they can have discovered about him. But surely one crucial aspect was that he was free agent. Like he was communicated to transfer market that he was free agent because they didn't knew it before because he had to break his contract in Finland because he had some obligations. And then when they fixed everything, he appeared as free agent. And for a club like Persija that maybe hasn't a big budget, but they need to find also occasion on the market, a free agent like Paulo Ricardo is a very good opportunity.
Okay, so in terms of salary and then payroll, is there any special clause that included in the contract, whether it is about the performance bonus, whether it is about the buyback options or extensions probably?
Honestly, about the contract details, uh, is not undisclosed because it was something that they wanted to keep very confidential. But what I can say is that his salary in Emirates and Saudi was much bigger, and that's since I told you before. The fact that the salary was a bit lower, if you consider what he had in the past, was it wasn't a problem because for the will of the player that wanted to play for a big team that can withdraw it, that can try to experience something different. For the fact that the environment is very and the weather is very similar to Brazil and this kind of stuff. So the salary wasn't a problem at all because of the project that Persija proposed to him.
Okay. So the implication, I would like to know about the most interesting things or events behind the scenes moment that you haven't written about it in your social media probably or your in your current employees website. Like probably you would like to share to us about the behind the scenes moment, like late night negotiations drama or last minute lobbying. Is there any?
About generally, you mean generally?
Yeah. Excuse
Okay,
me?
probably one of you mean generally or about something related to Paulo Ricardo story?
About Paulo Ricardo and then about general in your experience.
Okay, no, basically it was there was still uncertain since he started to fly to Indonesia, no? So I was waiting to understand how the things were going during the flight and everything, but then everything worked well. So it's also a very long travel. If I'm not wrong, from Brazil, he took like 19 hours of flight, so it wasn't an easy situation. If you have to consider there are also other times if you consider Brazil and Indonesia. So it was pretty strange because they also you from Indonesia and from Brazil, there is also different hours from Italy. So I was waiting until late night to understand what was happening and this kind of stuff. So it was a bit tricky for this reason, but it was a story that I enjoyed very much.
Okay, so in your opinion, how big it is the impact of Paulo Ricardo will have with Persija because Persija is now competing for the champion of Liga 1 or Liga 1 in Indonesia. Of course, you probably not seen enough about Paulo Ricardo how he plays, but because you know the agent, because you know the agent personally, I think in your view, how big is it the arrival of Paulo Ricardo in Persija?
I think that it can be probably one of the best signings of this window. You have to consider that Persib have signed Kurzawa, so it starts to be the best signing of the window. But I think that he will be one of the best for sure of the window because he's a very important player. He played in a lot of countries. He always delivered good performances, and I believe that he can do the same also with Persija. Again, Kurzawa, I think that will be the biggest signing of the window because he's an amazing player.
Yeah.
But Paulo Ricardo, I think that is one of the best too. Maybe not the best, but one of the best for sure.
Yeah, that's it. Okay, are there any other Brazil or Italy transfer related to Indonesia this season and atau this month that you're
Currently,
tracking right now?
Currently, I've not heard anything, but I'm working on it, and I'm trying to understand better what's going on with the with the with the signings of the Indonesian club. For what I heard, Persib, the club that signed Kurzawa, should have finished the transfer window because they don't have to do any more transfer right now.
Yeah.
So, for example, this is one of the info that I got. I'm trying to check for more, and let's see. I will keep you posted on my social media.
Okay. Last question. How about Sassuolo's defender Jay Itzes and Cremonese? The Cremonese is goalkeeper Emil Audero. They're both from Indonesia and they're so
Yes.
massive for us fans in Indonesia. Do you think that those two players will change clubs next season or?
It's hard to say that because I think that they are both crucial players right now for the team. Because Sauder is doing an amazing season with Cremonese. All the team of Cremonese is doing very, very good this season in Serie A. But I think that he's one of the best on the pitch every time that Cremonese plays. So for sure, he's one to watch for the summer because Cremonese is not a big club. But we have to consider that Cremonese has a solid ownership, and it's not easy to make left to sell a player that is crucial for them. And same for Sassuolo because Isis is another very good player. He's playing very well aside with Moaremovic, which is a top center back of one of the best center back of the championship. So I believe that there could be interested clubs in the summer. Let's see. But for sure, it won't be easy to buy them because I think that they will go for a very high price because they are both doing very, very good performances in this area.
Okay, Lorenzo, I think that's it. Enough for our discussion today.
Perfect. Thank you very much. Whenever you want, I'm at your disposal, Grega. Thanks a lot.
Okay, grazie mille. How I say it?
Grazie a te.
Okay.
Yeah, perfect. It was perfect.
Okay. See you again next session, probably, inshallah. So have a good day.
Whenever you want.
Yeah,
Whenever you want. Thanks to you.
Have a good day. Thank you very much. Baik,
Likewise.
itu tadi. Ya, baik tadi itu teman-teman. Bola.com perbincangan yang sebenarnya singkat ya, tapi padat banget dengan Mas Lorenzo atau apa ya kalau orang Italia itu berarti. Kalau orang Italia itu panggilannya apa berarti ya kalau senior ya, senior dari Italia teman-teman kita ya. Mudah-mudahan dari obrolan tadi ada yang bisa dipetik dan khususnya buat teman-teman Jackmania ya. Tadi kan disebutkan kalau Paulo Ricardo itu salah satu pembelian atau perekrutan ya, lebih tepatnya perekrutan terbesar di musim ini di Liga Indonesia. Jadi mudah-mudahan, dan tadi juga disebutkan juga kelebihannya sedikit yaitu dengan kedatangan daripada Paulo Ricardo ke Persija itu bisa membantu lini belakang lah, karena memang posisinya Paulo Ricardo itu ada di defensif ya, jadinya mudah-mudahan itu yang bisa membantu Persija juga untuk bisa keluar sebagai juara di BRI Super League. Mudah-mudahan insya Allah. Dan dia juga tadi membandingkan juga dengan Levin Kurzawa, salah satu pembelian terbaik. Mungkin yang terbesar ya sejauh ini dalam beberapa musim terakhir. Cuman itu dia yang menarik bahwa dua tim ini tetap akan bersaing tadi menurutnya gitu. Oke, jadi segitu aja dulu. Saya berjumpa lagi dengan saya di lain kesempatan. Ciao.